Y'all, Phaedra Parks is calling out the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Bravo, for showing y'all the bold and the brokey. And then we're going to talk about who tried to fight Shamea. Yeah, it's getting bad. And Drew is calling out all of us who've been saying that she is acting on this season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So grab something to drink and let's go ahead and dive in. So, Phaedra, we all kind of collectively gagged just a little bit when we saw the unaired clip of Jasmine Crockett on the Real Housewives of Atlanta filming with Phaedra. Now, somebody in the comments has said they did show it, and I was like, what episode? What episode? Because unless I blinked for a long time and missed it, we ain't see it. So Phaedra says here, she says, they show plenty of black and broke this season, but not nearly enough black excellence. Here's another scene you didn't get to see. Thank you to my good sis and great friend, the accomplished, intelligent, and beautiful Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett, for always representing the epitome of a strong black educated woman. First episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion streaming now on Peacock. Again, I'm wondering, why would y'all not show us this? There's so much y'all could have shown us that I feel like, listen, we did hear enough about bankruptcy at the beginning of the season. So I do wonder if she's talking about Pinky. And we know that her and Pinky are going to get into it at the reunion with something about what's going on with Pinky and her finances. So she's either talking about Pinky or she's talking about Kelly. But she says they showed plenty of black and broke this season, but not nearly enough black excellence. My God, today. What do we think about that in general? With a reality TV show like The Real Housewives of Atlanta, for me, when I'm watching these shows, it was always supposed to be a look behind the gates. Portia comments and says, wait, I had to double back after that black and broke. Phew, shade tree. Then she says, black excellence at its best. I wish I was a fly on the wall. You both are so inspiring. I can't wait to campaign for you, sis. What do you think Phaedra's going to run for if she goes into politics? I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think about that, and would you be voting for her? Let us know in the comments. And why didn't we get to see this scene? I do have that question for the producers. You don't film a scene with Jasmine and not air it. You do not do that. Listen, this is no shade to the producers, no shade to the network. But who on there would not recognize this as an amazing moment in television that we must see, especially for black people? Who? So I am here with Phaedra when she asked this question. Now, the broke part, hey, brokey. That's basically what she's saying. Hey, brokies out there. Hey, you little brokes, little brokey brokes, brokety broke girls running around here putting a stain on this show. We want multi-million-dollar homes, not bankruptcies and brokenness. That's what this post reads like to me. It does. I mean, listen, I want to watch Rich. I do. I want to watch Rich so I can, wake up and think rich thoughts. I mean, so I'm not too mad at all of this. Somebody tried to fight Shamea. First things first, let's get into this interview that she did on the Big Tigger Morning Show. I don't know if you have seen this or not, but this is the way that Shamea needs to, in my opinion, conduct herself in interviews moving forward. And granted, there was probably a level of comfortability here on radio because this is a sweet spot for her. But when the host, Francesca, asks Shamea, well, Shamea basically confronts the host. She's like, listen, you've had a lot to say about me first. Okay. And essentially, Francesca's like, listen, I've said it. I've called for you to leave the Real Housewives of Atlanta because you are too successful to be getting dragged like this every week by the people. And there's a big part of me that felt the same. Like, I don't understand why you're doing this. And I've said it as much on my reviews and recaps. But Shamea stopped and said some things that made me pause. And she's like, listen, I know that there are a lot of people there that don't like me. Okay. But she's like, I am loved where it counts. Ooh. And that is such a word right there. Your career and your trajectory may not look like everybody else's, or it may not look like the popular route. This is something I can definitely identify with. Like, in terms of success, what does it look like for you? Okay. She says she's able to highlight the things that she loves, her daughters. She's able to inspire people. She's able to give people her real story. And she's like, while these girls are playing TV, this is my real life. And this is what I'm giving. And I'm able to showcase the things that I love and really make a difference in that way. So she was like, why should I give that up? She's like, because I could say the same thing about you. You, ma'am, were in the headlines. Okay. And it was so much so that I could not even really feel like I got a chance to really know who you were because of the headlines. But should you quit your job? And I said, ooh, ooh, now this is interesting dialogue right here. This is what I want to see more of on my Housewives. And this goes all around for everybody on there. I do want some of that funny shade that we got between Portia and K. Michelle that came across very amusing. But when I saw this, I said, this is also the kind of carrying on I want to see, because this was real discussion. This was real discussion. So I did like this. But let's get into the part where I know you guys are already interested in. Let's get into the part where Shamea lets us know that somebody wanted to fight her. Now, I have my guesses as to who it could be, but I'm going to let you do your own guesses too. So Shamea shares that someone tried to fight her during the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And there had been rumors about what happened between Shamea and Portia in Scotland. We didn't see anyone raise any fisticuffs there, so I don't know that it was that. Here's what's being asked. She's being asked, somebody's got to go, okay? Angela, Portia, K. Michelle, or Drew. And Shamea smartly refuses to answer the question, okay? And what she says is, she says, I'll go, okay? I'll go because some of these girls need the check. So I'll just take myself out. That's a smarter way to answer that question. What she also does in this interview, because when the host Francesca's like, "No, you can't just say that you're gonna stay on this show because of X, Y, and Z, and then take yourself out of it." Shamea says, "Well, a little tea for you. One of these girls tried to fight me, so maybe I don't know. Maybe that's who it is." And she was like, "This person tried to nuck if you buck," and she was like, "I'm not about nucking and bucking. I like listening to the song, but I'm calling the police." And for that, Shamea, I definitely agree with you on that. Okay, we too old to be fighting at this point, y'all. For real, for real. I mean, especially over no housewife stuff. It ain't worth it all. It ain't worth all that. So who tried to fight her? Is what we want to know. Who tried to fight her? I wonder, could it have been this K. Michelle incident at the Waldorf that K. Michelle brought up in one of her most recent tweets at Shamea when she was tweeting at Shamea and Shamea was not responding? Might it be that incident? I don't know. We don't know. I mean, Angela is always outside ready to rumble and tumble. So we don't know if it was her or not. Who might it have been? Who? Speaking of who, can you woo?
Get into it. What did y'all think of my slate? I had to do it for the girlies. Like, cut it out. Cut out the lies. Cut out
Film
the BS.
slate.
Cut out all of the extra performativeness that y'all say that I am. Like, everything that y'all call me, y'all actually are. Y'all are deflecting. So I had to teach them how it's done. Like, you know, this. If y'all want to say I'm an actress, what y'all? Because I'm not paid to be an actress here. There's no script. There's no director. We are living our real authentic lives. Y'all have been through my real life situations from, I mean, my Achilles ruptured on national TV.
I would play more of that clip, but there's some Usher playing in the background, and I'm not trying to have that impact my video. So, Drew says she's not the acting. She says the other girls are performative. Here's the bottom line. I like Drew, actually. I do. I find her to be fascinating. She, I think, is a beautiful woman, and she has a lot of potential in a lot of different directions. And I think that does put her in a very interesting space for things that she can potentially do to generate revenue. Okay. I think she's leaving some money on the table in some aspects, but I gotta say that I did see her collaboration with Melody Shari. And this collaboration that she did with Melody Shari is sold out. Shout out to our friends over at No Chaser for this. Shout out to our friends at OMFGRealityTV for that last post. Drew says, Still Her is sold out. Now, again, this is a collaboration with Melody Shari's brand, for which I believe they were on TikTok Live together, I think. She says, I'm honestly overwhelmed with gratitude. The love and support for this collection has been incredible, and I'm so grateful to everyone who has shown up, purchased, shared, and supported us. God is so good. While Still Her is officially sold out, you can still shop the other two amazing scents, The Comeback and The Other Side. Trust me, you're going to love them. This collection is truly something special, and I want everyone to experience it. Head over to 7thAvenueBeauty.net and grab yours while they're still available. And don't forget to use code DREW at checkout for your discount. So as you can see here, it is actually sold out. The bottles look amazing. I will say that. I think this is the perfect picture for that. Interestingly, what I also think is this. I think that the timing is super smart to coincide with the reunion for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, to also coincide, and I don't know if this happened to be serendipitous or not, but what I will say is that for Melody, business-wise, with the premiere of the trailer coming out for Love and Marriage Huntsville, especially with what everybody has seen with Ariane Curry now being on the show, I'm going to tell y'all something. Business-wise, this is what Melody should be doing. If I were her marketing person, I would be like, we are going to run it up this fall. We are going to run TikTok, Instagram shop, all of the things up. I will have her live every Saturday night, okay? That she ain't traveling and being booked and busy. That's what I would do, okay? The same for Drew. If y'all want to work this, let's work it, okay? Work it and make them coins, because everybody's going to be waiting to see how Melody responds. And whether she does or not, I would just be there making my coin off of whatever is going on the show. So for this, I am extremely excited for both Drew and Melody. But I want to get back to Drew and the actress of it all. While I do think that Drew has all this potential, I do still feel as though there are aspects of her persona that feels performative on the show. Whether or not you can't really not showcase an injury. You've got to work around that. That has nothing to do with the way you deliver when you're in scene with the women. Okay? That is what we're talking about. It is less about what happens to you, but it is about how you show up when in conflict or in concert with the other women. Now, what I will say, though, is what you can say that I'm totally agreeing with you on is that there was no, if there was a plot to connect Black with K Michelle, it was not visible enough for us to have to endure not understanding why K Michelle is coming after you. So it appears as though she's coming after you for no reason. And for that, I do absolutely agree with you. And I'm not mad that you pulled out the slate for her specifically. Because if you truly don't understand what she's coming at you for, then chop chop, sis. I get it. I get it. Cut it out, right? Cut it out. Leave me alone. Stop making me a part of your narrative. And unfortunately for K Michelle, as she has readily admitted, she didn't let these things play out. She tried to run ahead of them, and you can't do that in this space. You've got to be aware, but not let anybody know that you know. Keep your eyes open and keep your eyes peeled for when the ball drops, and then pounce if you need to. But all of this living in the anticipation of, it kind of reminds me of what Angela does that bothers me so much, is the preparing for the Reed showdown. So I've got to have my ammunition. I don't like that type of housewives. The best housewives to me, and it's probably the reason why Nene Leakes is so iconic, is because everything she did, it felt like it rolled off the tongue right in the moment. She's responding to something. She's reacting to something. And what she said was so crazy and clever, and it just resonated with us. What the girls are doing now is they're preparing maps and diagrams. And it's like, no, we don't need to do all of that. Just react. That's funny enough, right? That's all you need to do. That's why people, whether you love her or you don't, I 100% respect Kandi, because while Kandi wasn't a shade assassin, unless you watch them speak on it, woo, what she did deliver was real, raw, and in the moment. Whatever was happening, what I got from her was don't start none, won't be none. And I like that type of carrying on, because it's like, once you done push Kandi too far, that's when she get, I'm embedded in your mother effing brain. That's when you get that type of stuff. And I feel like some of these newer reality TV people, I fear that they may have studied some of this so much that they over prepare. And that's what we're talking about, Drew. That's the stuff that we are talking about. Not what you're talking about in this video, but that is what I'm talking about. So let's go back and rewatch some old seasons. And let's rediscover what we loved about those things. I should really do that. To be honest with you, I might do that. I might just have to go back into the archives and just start rewatching and recapping from the beginning, because that is what I feel like I'm missing right now. That element of nobody knew what the heck they were doing, so they just showed up and they did. And what they did, it just so happened to be funny, but that's great casting. Anyway, so listen, I'm glad we'll see everybody come back next season. I hope that what we see next season feels a bit more organic than what we are getting currently. Even though I did enjoy this season, it was frustrating a lot of times, but I have hope. I always have hope. So anyway, if you like this type of content, make sure you guys like this video, hit that notification bell button. Two things. If you want to get on the list to know about the trips the moment that they drop, join the, I will put the link in I'll put the link in the pinned comments, but it'll be skyboundtravel.com. Just go there and enter your email address, and I will be able to get you everything. Otherwise, if you want other information, or if you want to read about these stories as they come out, then subscribe to my Substack as well, because I'll be able to post videos there as soon as they come out. And you guys can also get information there about travels and other things that I have going on. So that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.